Assalamu alaikum dear student, how are you all? I hope you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. I am Nasima Akter, Assistant Teacher of Science, National Ideal, English Version School, Morning Shift. Dear student, today I am going to take a science class for class 7 student. Dear student, our today's topic is chapter 11. We have already discussed some part of this chapter. Today we will discuss the another part of this chapter. So let us see today's topic at a glance. This is chapter 11. The name of our chapter is Change in Surrounding and Various Incidents, and this is lecture number 18, and I will give you SW. Our SW number will be 15 number SW. So dear student, let us start today's class. Water cycle. You know that we get water from various sources, such as we get water from rain in our country. In the rainy season, different areas of the country are inundated with flood water. Water moves from one source to another in a cyclic way on the earth. You know how it rains. Heat from the sun converts water into water vapor from the earth's surface. That is, pond, canal, river and sea water is converted into water vapor. Water vapor goes up and forms water drops. These water drops are combined together to form clouds that float around. Water drops of the clouds combine with each other to form large drops that come down to the earth's surface as raindrops. Water drops of the cloud, when become too cold, it forms ice that comes down to the soil as hail. Rainwater flows to the river. From the river, it flows to the sea. In this way, water moves from the surface of the earth to the cloud as water vapors, and from the cloud to the earth's surface as raindrop. This rainwater flows to the river, from where they ultimately reach the sea. This cyclic movement of water is called the water cycle. It is to be remembered that a portion of rainwater goes down under the soil and makes a reservoir. It is called underground water. We lift this underground water and use it for drinking, washing and irrigation purposes. The wind carries some water vapor as clouds and reach the peak of mountains. Clouds cool down there and form snow. In summer season, the snow melts due to heat of the sun and come down the mountain. In this way, small rivers are formed on the slope of mountains. These small hilly rivers with rainwater make big rivers when come down to plain land. This water ultimately falls into the sea. From water to cloud and from cloud to snow on the mountain peak. Thus water cycles. Again, when these snow melts, water moves to the river and ultimately to the sea. Thus water moves in cyclic order. You can understand water cycle clearly from the above diagram. Here is a diagram. This is water cycle. Some important changes related to water cycle is vaporization, condensation, solidification. Let us see which of them occurs, what type of change. Vaporization. In this process, water from pond, river and ocean enter into atmosphere through transforming into vapor with the heat of sun. Now tell, is vaporization a physical or chemical change? It is definitely a physical change, because here the water only turns into vapor from liquid state. Any different substance has not been produced. Condensation, the vapor created after vaporization gradually goes up where the temperature is comparatively low. For that, the vapor turns into little drops of water or cloud after condensation. The process where vapor turns into cloud is called condensation. This is a physical change as well and mainly opposite to vaporization. In this process, water turns from vapor to liquid. The property remains unchanged. Now solidification. In the water cycle, water drops of clouds get freezed and turns into ice. Then this ice is stored on the peak of mountains and comes down on earth as hailstones. In this case, the properties of water do not change, and it is a physical change also. Now carbon cycle. In carbon cycle, we mainly see how carbon dioxide moves from one state or medium to another in a cyclic process. The diagram of carbon cycle is given below. Here is the diagram. You can see. Do you understand what type of process or change is related to it? One of the related change is photosynthesis. We have already come to know that in this process plants prepare their food by reaction of carbon dioxide and water with the help of sunlight and produced oxygen for us. Do you remember what type of change it is? Carbon dioxide enters into plant body from atmosphere through this process, and this is chemical change. An important step of carbon cycle is to transfer into fossil fuel from plants. The body parts of dead plants break down through bacteria and is stored as fossil fuel in the bowels of earth at a certain stage. Natural gas, coal, kerosene or petrol are prepared through this process. But when dead plants break down through bacteria, a part of it enters into atmosphere by converting directly into carbon dioxide. We use fossil fuels in various works such as in cooking, cars, industries and so on. Fossil fuel enters into atmosphere by transforming into carbon dioxide and water through this type of change. Plants then absorb carbon dioxide through photosynthesis from atmosphere. Is there any other process where carbon dioxide enters into atmosphere except combusting? Yes, other faunas like human being also leave carbon dioxide gas during breathing and that enters into atmosphere. Is there any other process where carbon dioxide are being absorbed from atmosphere except plants? Well, do plants only prepare their foods by absorbing carbon dioxide? Don't they release carbon dioxide? Yes, plants release carbon dioxide through breathing like human and other faunas. Now tell what type of change it is where fossil fuel are produced from the bodies of plants and animals. This is definitely a chemical change because the produced fossil fuel is completely different from starch and protein, etc. Oxygen cycle. Now oxygen cycle, you can see here is a figure. This is oxygen cycle. We can see here plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and these animals take oxygen and it's release carbon dioxide as a cyclic wave. The diagram of oxygen cycle is given here. What type of process is related to this process? Observe carefully. Plants release oxygen through photosynthesis and preserve foods, glucose or starch for themselves. On the other side, other faunas including human beings receive oxygen that plants already released and produced energy by the combusting of foods with oxygen and release carbon dioxide with which plants use to prepare their food. Thus, it has been observed that photosynthesis, carbon cycle, water cycle and oxygen cycle are closely related to our lives directly or indirectly. Now, lesson 7 or 8. Here is an experiment. The work is observation of the combusting of magnesium and air. Necessary equipments is magnesium ribbon, forceps, ring, spirit lamp and Bunsen burner. Method is hold a side of a small piece of magnesium ribbon with forceps. Wear safety glass, then hold the other side of ribbon over the flame of Bunsen burner. It can be done with lighter as well. Observe carefully what is happening. While holding the magnesium ribbon over the flame of fire, what has been seen? The ribbon is burning with blazing flame as magnesium burns in the oxygen of air and we can see the blazing flame. In this way, while all the magnesium get burned, the flame extinguished itself. Can you see something like ash? Actually, this is the magnesium oxide that has been produced by burning magnesium and oxygen. And you can see here is another experiment. Work is observation of the reaction of carbonate, compound and acid. Necessary equipment is chalk, a spoon, light, hydrochloric acid and glass dropper. Method is smash the chalk. Take the powder of the chalk in a spoon. Now add some light hydrochloric acid in the spoon with the help of glass dropper. Can you see any change? Are the bubble coming out? Yes, the bubbles are coming out from the gas and are looking like foam. You can do this experiment. What is the reason? The reason behind this is chalk, which is mainly calcium carbonate. A reaction between calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid occurs after adding light hydrochloric acid and calcium chloride and carbon dioxide are produced. We see the bubble and foam because of the carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide vanished, we can see the clear solution of calcium chloride and water. What type of change is it? Physical or chemical? This is chemical change because the produced substance calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water is completely different from calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid, and their properties are different as well. You can use the eggshell instead of chalk as it is full of calcium carbonate. Now lesson 9 or 10. Here is another experiment, work observing of reaction of metals and acid. Necessary equipment is magnesium ribbon, light hydrochloric acid, spirit lamp and test tube. Method is take light hydrochloric acid half of the test tube. Take some small pieces of magnesium ribbon into the acid. Is here any bubble of gas? If no, heat the surface of the test tube with the help of spirit lamp. Is here any bubble of gas now? These are the bubbles of hydrogen as produced from the reaction between magnesium and hydrochloric acid. You can test whether it is hydrogen gas or not. Observe what is happening by holding a blazing matchstick at the top of the test tube. Is it blazing with pop-up sound? Yes, exactly. If it was another gas except hydrogen, it would not make such sound. The reaction of light hydrochloric acid with metal, what type of change is it? Definitely chemical change, because completely different substance has been produced here. The process of formation of rocks. Now formation of rocks. Previously you have learned that rocks are of three types: igneous rock, alluvial rock and metamorphic rocks. The process of structuring rocks depends on its types. First, come to igneous rock. Do you know how igneous rock originated? Thousands of years ago, the temperature of the earth was very high, and today's habitable earth has been created by decreasing the temperature gradually. The hot and melting rocks known as magma trapped inside the bowels of the earth while the earth was getting cold. This magma was transformed into cool hard rock and it is called igneous rock. That means igneous rock is made of cooling hot mixture mainly, rather creating a new substance. Thus, the process of formation of igneous rock is definitely a physical change. No chemical change occur here. It is exactly the same process of producing water or cloud from vapor through condensation. Now, let's see how alluvial rock originated. The igneous rock decays by the influence of air, water, snow and glacier, ocean, current, storm, cyclone, etc., which is the consequence of climate change. The rock turns into small pieces. Water or air takes these pieces to the ocean through river and it's stored at the 8 lower level of the ocean as alluvium. Dead remains of plants and animals trapped inside the layers of alluvium mud at that time. The stored alluvium gradually transformed into hard rock through various chemical reactions with the pressure and temperature of water, which is alluvial rock. Various chemical reactions are related to the origin of alluvial rock. Chemical change occurs in the process of formation of the rocks. Now, let's see the developing process of metamorphic rocks. It occurs from igneous or alluvial rocks. The new rocks produced from igneous or alluvial rocks through temperature, pressure and chemical change is called metamorphic rocks. For example, sandstone is a alluvial rock and as it is transformed into quartz, it is called metamorphic rocks. Similarly, as marble comes from limestone and graphite from coal, marble and graphite are metamorphic rocks. As the property of metamorphic rock is completely different from the main rock and chemical reactions are related to it, the structure of metamorphic rock is considered as chemical change. So, dear student, I have finished today's topic. Now I will give you SW. Our today's SW number is 15 number SW, and your SW will be make 5 MCQ based on this topic. And when you will do your SW, please write down SW number and submission date also. I am repeating your SW, this is 15 number SW and your SW will be make 5 MCQ based on this topic. So dear student, I hope you have understood today's topic. Keep practice it at home and do your SN SW in your SW copy and you will get 2.5 marks for each SW. So dear students, stay home and we'll see you again in our next class. Till then, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.